What's happening, everyone? My name is Phil with PrecisionLED, and we're in our new office here, back to filming content for our viewers on DIY installations. Now, if you missed the last couple episodes, we were doing a full warehouse series on how we move from one office to the other. So go ahead and check that out. It's a lot of fun. This new space is really big with lots of room for activities. So, while we're also doing a pretty interesting giveaway, we're giving away a free shirt to one lucky viewer who likes and comments in the video within the next 7 days. So you won't get this shirt in particular, but you might get but this one that you see me wearing now that's, I think, a little bit too tight for me. But we'll get you the right size. All you have to do is like and comment in the video, and in 7 days we'll do a random drawing and reach out to you to get your free merch, so enjoy that. Today's DIY video is a rock slider light kit for our Toyota Tacoma shop truck. So let's check out the product and get started. All right, so this is an 8-piece LED rock light kit that's gonna go on essentially the underbelly of the vehicle, strategically placed. Now, the whole point of rock lights are to help you with nighttime rock crawling, but a lot of people install them just because they look cool. So we're mostly gonna install these because they look cool. Let's unbox this and see what we're working with. All right, let's see what we're working with. We've got our RFID controller. We've got a little remote. We've got a little antenna. I'm sure that goes here somewhere like this. There we go. And I believe all these are our 8 rock lights. 2, 4, 6, 8. There we go. Okay, we've got a mounting kit and the rock light itself. Look at those. All right, this is really time consuming. I think there's a faster way. Okay, so we have 8 LEDs with mounting kits. Each one has a slightly different length of cable to reach the controller box. And then we have 2 extenders just in case maybe you have an extended truck bed or really big suspension on a show truck, that kind of thing. So. All right, so this kit in particular is an Oracle lighting kit. You'll see here, this is the power wire, your power and ground. Now we're gonna hook this up to our power distribution block, connected to our Switch Pro's 8-port switch system, but you'll probably connect this straight to your battery. So just consider how you're gonna get power. We're actually gonna run the lead for this all the way down and probably mount this on the undercarriage of the vehicle so it's closer to all of our wires for these pods. The first step we're gonna do here is unwrap all of our wiring, figure out which one's the longest to go to the back, which ones are short that go to the front, and get ready for the install. All right, so we've organized these by longest and shortest. Shortest on this side, longest on this side. So I'm gonna hook them up to a temporary power supply just to confirm that all the light works, all of the controls work properly, and then we'll get to mounting. Ooh, they're on. What are they doing? These are like glorified Christmas lights. Look at this. I'm glad this thing works. Oh, maybe you have to, you need to pull out the pin thing here. What? It's doing nothing. I think there's also an app, so I'll download the app. Do anything? No? Oh, on off works. What? The hell? What? Ah, I made it work. Let's also download the app and see how that works. I'm already in. Oh, it's doing stuff. Green strobe. Oh, wow, cool. Okay, so this thing works.
So you can select colors. Somehow it uses the microphone. Oh shoot, this is like a music mode. You see that?
You gotta move your phone.
Can you tell?
I don't think so.
No? Okay, well, whatever.
And there's strobe. See? Strobe.
Okay, well, everything works. So let's get around the placement. Now when you look at this bag, there are two types of mounts. One is a flat mount and one is a curved mount for, I guess, a tubular structure. This is your tubular and this is your flat mount. Now, how does that work? I don't know. I think we have to drill holes. So let's get under the vehicle and find our mount points. Now, in order to install these rubber mounting brackets, we had to go out and get some self-tappers. So all I had available to me were these variety kits. You don't necessarily need to do that, but you do have to pick either a number 8 or a number 10 or similar size self-tapper. We're gonna be using number 8 3/4 inch panhead self-tapping screws. And as you can see, you're gonna get about 1/2 inch of thread that's gonna hit your metal, and that's pretty good. We're also gonna be using a drill here, a 9/64 bit drill to get a small enough hole, and then it will self-tap the rest of the way through. Let's go ahead and get one of these first ones mounted on the side of the vehicle. So whenever you're rock crawling, the main point is for you to be able to see the tire and what's underneath it in the front and the rear. So typically, you're gonna mount one right here in the wheel well, right? You're gonna have one mounted, we have rock sliders here, but you can either mount it to the rock slider or to the undercarriage here for your first one. And that's gonna give you that angle right here on what you're attacking or what you are driving over. So first two, 1, 2. You're then gonna have one near the rear. Again, we're using our rock slider. And then also, again, one under here on the wheel well. Now we might do it against the frame somewhere. We're just gonna have to experiment because I think this is all plastic. All right, let's get to it. We're gonna start with the second light here, the rock slider. When you look at the light, so essentially you just want this wire to feed through in the direction that you need it to. So it'll look like this. And then you just need to decide on placement. Right, so right about here seems good for us. Then I'll just tap lightly to get my holes started. Then I'll remove this, do my full drill, and then we'll go ahead and mount. This hole I already drilled just in preparation. So that one's also good. Ooh, yeah. Okay, now that's in. So for now, we're gonna let our wires just kind of dangle underneath. We will route them in a safe location with zip ties later, but let's get the rest of these mounted up. For the ones directly in the wheel well, I think we're gonna have them placed right here, pretty much at the center, but away from the action of the suspension and the wheels. So the wheel is gonna come all the way up to this section. We're gonna go inside a little bit so that the wheel doesn't scrape the top right here. You want to be careful, this is right underneath the fuse panel, so you don't want to be poking too far up. That's also why we're using 3/4. We're not using an overly long piece. And that way we're also not penetrating into the fuse box. If you're doing this install on a different vehicle, like us, we opened up the hood to see where we're drilling into, just so we could be careful with where we're going. Now let's do the wheel well on the rear tire. All right, so on the rear tire, at least on the Tacoma, right behind the wheel well, there is a metal plate here. So we're gonna actually install right back here. So this vehicle is lifted 2.5 inches, so there is more room to work with. If you have a stock suspension, it may not be as easy to locate these areas. So in some cases you may need to remove the wheel well, or remove the tire. But for us, it's okay. All right, now that we have all 4 installed, let's go ahead and see what they look like. Let's just plug it in and take a look.
Question mark?
Let's go ahead and take a look. Plug that in. Think it'll look good?
Yeah, especially that cool purple color. Whoa, look at that!
Did you leave it on a strobe function?
Oh, you were the last person playing with it.
We could talk about these connectors right here. These are waterproof connections. So because this is gonna go on the underbelly or the undercarriage, we have these 2 mounting holes. So we're gonna use a slightly larger, like a 10 or a 12 size self-tapping screw. That's gonna go on the undercarriage. And then obviously there's a lot of water. And these connectors right here are waterproof connectors. So as long as you're screwing this tight, you should not have any electrical issues with the lighting system, just like that. And because these are rubber, it does help to seal off your connection with the bolt to something like a rock slider that could rust, and keeps the LED from short circuiting. So let's change this to something not so ridiculous.
It's pretty ridiculous.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Ooh, that's cool.
Oh, cool. So the power wire is going to go to our Switch Pro system. If you come up here, so we have all these extra open-ended leads. One of these is a 10 amp circuit, which is good enough for the LED rock lights, and that's going to go and turn on with the panel on the inside of the vehicle. So we're going to add rock lights probably to this switch, number 5, right here eventually.
That's super cool.
Okay, let's keep going. I'm actually gonna do the other side. We're just gonna fast forward through it. All the same locations, same screws, same everything. Let's do that. Oh, my arms. Go! Still works. We're at the part of the installation now where we need to mount the control box and the Bluetooth transceiver. So I'm picking this right here on the driver's side frame rail going down the side of the vehicle. There's a section right here between the mounts for my rock sliders that's the perfect location for the box. Now I'm going to run these wires up and over the frame rail, and then the power wire is going to snake its way under to the engine bay and go up to where our power source is. So we've got 2 larger size bolts. I think we'll use number 10s like 1024s or 1032s in terms of thread size. We put them right here, and like I said, these are all gonna snake over the top. Just like that. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, my arm's tired. My arms are tired. It's all you.
No, just stay right there.
Why?
Because I'm drilling like this.
Why? Whoa, whoa, whoa. That was already almost there. Okay. Okay. The next step here is to connect the control box to power. So we're in the engine bay, and depending on your configuration, you can do a couple different things. Obviously, the easiest is connect straight to the battery. We don't want to do that, at least for this implementation, because you have to always make sure you're turning them on and off, and you don't want to drain the battery on accident. The second most common configuration will be to a power distribution block like the one you have down here. That's a good option, but because we have a Switch Pro system, we're going to wire ours to the Switch Pro. I've selected the gray wires, which I think is a 15 amp circuit. I'm going to twist tie these together, the two gray wires, to our wire spool here, which is, I believe, 16 gauge positive and negative cable. We're going to snake it down through the engine bay underneath and run it over to our control box. So let's prep these wires and get them set up. There we go. Black lead to the distribution block and the red lead here. So I have to splice all the way down about, I don't know, a foot. Okay, where's the X-Acto knife? This is probably how I'm going to cut myself today. Haha!
Did you cut yourself?
No.
Oh man.
I didn't measure how much of this wire I needed, so I'm just gonna have to overestimate how much of this wire needs to go down the engine bay, right? And then over to, so we're gonna do about 3 feet longer than I think we'll need, because I'm wasteful. And we'll throw this in the garbage. I hate this wire. All right, we're gonna try and snake this down through the engine bay. Did I get on the first try? Yes, I did. Wow, see that? It's a bit hard to see, but this is my wire right here, okay? I'm going behind this mud guard, okay, right to here. And from here, I'm pushing it down, following this frame the frame rail till it exits the bottom. All right? So that's how it's gonna get down, and that's how it stays out the way of the rest of your engine compartment. Aha! Here it is. See that? And our other wire for the control box is right here. So let's just connect these two things together. Yeah? Okay. Ugh. Not gonna work. Well, these particular crimp connectors are heat shrink tubing. So if you don't have a heat gun like we do, you can just use a lighter and it does the same thing. But it seals your connection. Okay, now that is waterproof. So we'll tuck this back under. Let me get under there and connect a few lights. Connect it. I'm not going to screw it in yet. We're just going to see if everything turns on. Ugh.
That's super cool.
Why does it do the flickering thing as its default? No, it doesn't do it on this one. Okay, I'm going to get under the vehicle and we're going to zip tie all of our wires so that they are not dangling anywhere. Or keep it nice and safe. All right, let's do that. Now is my favorite part of every install that involves a switch. It is putting on the correct sticker on our button. So we have the option of underglow and rock. I think technically these are rock lights, even though they're multicolor, so we're going to use those. And then maybe later on we'll get some more ridiculous lights to use for underglow. Oh no, that's not good. No, 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 no. Okay. Okay, not bad. Look at that. This is the master on-off. You can use the remote to turn on and off. And then you can also use Bluetooth to turn on and off. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm going home.